we had a unit out and in contact, and as we went out to, again, didn't have any, was our small group with the RTOs. There were total, Herbert and me and three others. And as we came out, and there was a village like right here, and then there was a bay, good sized bay here, and between this, where there was a small contingent of the enemy, and then out a little bit further inland, there was a larger contingent, and then we had a company that was trying to come in. And so what happened was that this contingent that was here on the water, once they saw us coming in, their primary concern was to keep us from getting ashore. So as we came circling around and we saw couldn't land, and so Tony then said, well, okay, Pippin, put us down in the bay. So everybody's in the bay. And then Herbert turned around to me and he said, okay, Webb, you keep everybody here in the chopper. And I said, what the hell are you doing? He said, I'm going to go earn my pay. And I said, you bully shit me. So Pippin set us down. So Herbert jumped in the water, and it was up to about here on him. And
which meant it was over your head.
Well, it was up to here, pretty close, yeah. So as soon as he unassed the aircraft, and I pulled the other guys, I said, let's go. So we jumped in the water, and when he heard me splash, and he turned, he said, God damn it, I told you to stay. What are you doing here? And I said, well, we're not going to let you go in alone. That's bullshit. And so as we wading ashore, and actually I was more afraid of drowning than I was of being shot at that time. So we get ashore, and we killed most of that group up on the hill. And this woman comes screaming out of one of the huts. And I spoke a little Vietnamese, not enough from my first tour to carry on a really lengthy conversation, but I understood some things. And she said, you didn't kill them all. There's one in that tunnel, and he's got my baby. 17-month-old baby boy. And so we talked for a bit, so I told her, but I said, let me take care of this. So he was organizing what little bit of defense we could with 5 guys. And so I went over to the entrance to the tunnel, and I yelled down at the guy, and I said, okay, look, it's time for you to chew hoy, and I will guarantee that nobody's going to mess with you. I'll guarantee that nobody mistreats you. And again, pardon my language, in Vietnamese, he told me, he said, go fuck yourself. So I laughed and I said, you're funny, but it ain't going to happen. I said, now, we got to work here on this, because you're going to die if you don't give up somehow. And he told me to do the same thing. So, and I hardly ever carried a pistol. I was pretty good with a rifle. And so I grabbed Tony and I said, let me borrow your pistol. And so I went over and I, again, told the guy one more time. I said, then now, at least don't let this baby be part of our fight. This baby has nothing to do with, you and I, one of us is going to die, but this baby doesn't have to. Lo and behold, this blanket comes out of the hole with the baby in it. That's probably the proudest moment of my life, not just Vietnam, but I grabbed the baby and handed it to somebody that said, give this to the mother. And then I went back to the guy, and I said, okay, chew away or I'm going to have to come kill you. So I threw a grenade in the hole. Now, I knew that these tunnels and the way to go back, that the grenade could not kill him because he would be back out of the way. But I was hoping that the concussion would mess with his
It makes him
mind.
ruin his day.
Absolutely. So as soon as the grenade went off, I dove in the tunnel. When I hit the bottom, and the tunnel was about that high, so me and Vietnamese people, that short folks, we could stand up and walk through like this. And that's what he was expecting I would do. So when I hit and I turned the corner, and he was waiting, but he fired about as high as that door, and I was down about where the vent is, and so he missed with all of his shots, and I hit with. So I wish I hadn't had to kill him, but I am so tickled that that kid lived. I would like to know what happened.